welcome back to Kleiner's Kravenarium. I'm Raz. This is the second time we're doing this because I didn't hit the record button.
Hello again, Raz.
Hello.
Professionals.
Hello, players. Thank you for pointing out after 6 minutes of not recording that we were not recording and we had to do it again. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
This is deja vu for our players. The first time we had a really nice dance going on in the green room. This time it was just looks of shame and just that I'm an idiot. So, well, yeah, we're here, and so are you finally. And thank you for joining us. As the team has about 2 hours left before the baptism, Steiner, you're walking down the street with everybody. We're kind of, Mercy's being told, always, stay straight, don't make a left, that kind of thing. You're approached by Marcus Briggs. He just comes kind of walking up off a side street. And Steiner, he walks up to you and he says, I believe I owe you an apology.
Kind of tilt my head and I'm sorry.
I've been I've been speaking to the sheriff, and it seems that last night could have gone much different for me if you hadn't intervened on my behalf. So thank you. I was wrong about you.
I'm going to lean in and just be like, I just did the right thing. And I'm just going to tip my hat and I'm going to carry on.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of eyeballs everybody as they go by.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not a big fan of the guy, so I get that. But yeah, he watches the whole thing. And then he heads into, he dodges to the one side and goes down the street as if he's heading right down towards the Brexford Arms. So he's probably going for a drink. I mean, at this point, after being told what his wife and this other gentleman were thinking of doing, like putting a hatchet to him, I'm sure probably a stiff drink is probably exactly what you need at this point. So, all right. So back at we're heading back to the Kravenarium, to the circus, to just make sure the rest of the circus strongmen and all the performers and the cooks and the people involved in the running of the circus, the background people, plus the other acts, with the exception, obviously, of, Barbaletto, God rest his, per Barbaletto. But is there anything anybody else wanted to do once they arrived at the Kravenarium?
I want to take Miss Adelaide to meet Max.
Oh, great idea. Okay, very good. So yeah, Max is grazing not far from the Kravenarium, from the circus grounds itself, out in the field. He is, as we said the first time we didn't record this, he's old, gnarly, looks like he probably dragged or pulled a plague cart at one of the bubonic plagues. He's really just rancid looking, but he's important to the show, to the circus function. And he's kind of got his head down. But Adelaide, as the team's walking up, he kind of stops for a second, looks over in your direction, and shuffles. He's a big horse. He shuffles over and lowers his head so that you can pet him.
Yeah, and she is looking at him and she coos, "Oh, how pretty." And she strokes his nose very lovingly.
Okay. Yeah, you get out of him. Pretty is not normally words that you use to describe Max. Intuitive is a word, but not pretty. As we've heard, not even for the glue factory, dog factories, dog canned goods would probably turn him away. So the rest of the afternoon, unless anybody's doing anything funky, is going to go pretty quickly. You gather your people and you start making your way down the road again, right around 4:00 to arrive at the church for 4:30 to meet with Pastor Wright. Of the Kravenarium, you probably got, I'm going to say 80% of them to come. So 50, 60 people probably is what you're looking at, are heading down the street with you. Some of them in, carnival garb. Most of them are just hard workers, overhauls, things of that nature, whatever would be the regular working attire of the day, kerchiefs over their neck, things like that. Has anybody told the circus that they're probably not going to be here in a while? We think we're going to be breaking down tonight. Are we doing any of that, or just waiting until to see what happens?
Let's wait and see what happens.
Let's wait and see what happens.
We're just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Give everybody the night off, and then we can break down tomorrow if all goes well.
Yeah, if things goes really well, we could always try to stay another night and finish out.
Make some more money.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. The town may be very thankful for all that. The the town itself of Chipping Norton, more people have turned up than both yourselves, unless you think the town would be this like in tune to this. But you've probably got, I'm going to say 200 people have made their way, are already at the church. This is a bigger draw for them than the actual, services that this pastor, his church would be jammed if everybody was there in one shot. Like, it would just be outrageous. So this is like, it would be standing room only. This is a really good crowd. And it doesn't shock or surprise anyone to see that, Amelia and Bit and, the other woman, I forget what her name was, one of the other big gossips of the town.
Mavis.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, her daughter, right? Mavis. That they're right out front, just chirping away. The sky is still pretty much the same. It's that English gray that just warms everyone, everyone's hearts.
Shit, cuckles.
Yeah, right to the cuckles. Adelaide, at some point during this walk, though, to the church, would you please go ahead and give me a vigilance roll, please, which is logic and
All right.
vigilance. Yeah.
All right, that would be 6. Let's see.
6 dice, looking for any 6s.
I got 1 success.
All right. You hear the date. At some point, the date is, somebody brings up, it's, May 1st, or can't believe we're still in this kind of weather, da-da-da-da-da. And you realize in your head that you've lost 7 months.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, and she kind of gasps at this revelation and stops. She's wondering what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you can't recall Christmas, Boxing Day, you can't. What German holiday, Joel? It's Christmas, but it's Yule, right? They call it. It's a
Well,
Yule
no, Yule would be non-Christian.
But what do they call it in Germany? Do you remember?
I don't remember the exact name in German. No.
So whatever the German holiday that falls on the 25th of December, or around that time, that's what you recall. None of that. As a matter of fact, you can't seem to get past like All Saints Day. That's you're thinking, I don't remember where I've been. I don't know what happened. The last thing you remember is that you thought to yourself, maybe it's time for me to find like and kind, people that are similar to me. And you had the idea of, I remember Mercy, and I wonder where the Kleiner's Kravenarium, maybe I could try to find them. Maybe I could join up with a circus or make my way until I find them. And then all of a sudden it's May 1st and you came out of the box.
Yeah, suddenly she's a little less excited about what happened to her.
Okay.
A little less magical, a little more scary. But yeah, she's got to think about that for a while.
Yeah. All right. Did you, again, I'm not, you don't have to. Is it something that you're sharing at this point, or you're trying to keep that a little closer to the vest?
No, she's going to keep it to herself for now because they're seem to be on a mission. She doesn't really want to bother them with it right now.
Okay. No problem. All right. You arrive and there's Pastor Wright. He's already in his vestments. He's got his book out, the whole bit. He sees you standing, he sees you approaching, and he looks at the crowd. His eyes are like, wow, this is shockingly big. Not something he expected. But he's happy to oblige. What is the donation that you're able to provide for him? How much were you thinking of giving him?
Oh, yes. That.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think we should take all of the money that was in the old troop leader's cabin and take it to him.
There you go.
Oh, Mosley's.
Mosley.
Oh, wait.
I think.
Yeah, but he had the pay money and everything for everybody.
I was
That's
going to say that's payroll. So
non-payroll money.
Oh,
Okay.
I give him a box of shells and a slap on the ass. Here's what Mosley had.
Here's an attaboy for you.
Should we do conversions or
No,
should we
give me a
£5?
rough. Oh, back then that's huge.
Yeah,
That's
it's a lot
huge.
of money back
That's
then.
huge.
Yeah,
money.
£5,
Good.
and Mercy's gonna give him a vintage book.
Oh, which one? Faust.
How to Beat a Pilgrim.
No,
The story of O.
no, Christ, no.
The
A
Whipping
book
of Mary,
old,
who took a cookie.
a book of old sermons that her father had. Jesus
You're
Christ.
not. Would Mercy give away a puritanical book of sermons at this point in her life? Would she really want to do that?
I have more than. It's not my dad's. It's I have more than one.
Okay, so you have a
I'm-
a large selection of old puritanical Bibles and sermon books. Okay, I didn't know you traveled with that much.
A collection is 3, by the way.
True. So you okay?
So
I'm good. You pass him an old sermon book. He's very taken back by it. He thanks you. He looks at the date on it. He's kind of in awe. He's like, "Where did you come by this? This is a most generous gift for my library."
it's that is it's a family heirloom. But as you can see, when it was left to me, I believe the person that intended it for me thought I'd be able to read it.
Oh.
So
I'm so sorry that it will not go to waste. Trust me. I will make sure I will treasure it.
thank you.
This is a very generous gift.
Thank you.
You make your way. Several songs he leads people in song. He doesn't have a great singing voice. Not every minister does. It's okay.
Shame.
Right. He kind of, he knows the words, but you're not getting a good old Motown harmony out of it. It's not like that kind of thing at all.
Onward, Christian soldiers.
Right. That kind of thing.
Pastor, is it always so sad?
Does it have to resonate the pain?
Should it hurt so
Yes.
bad, Father?
Yes.
Mercy's like, what do you mean? This isn't that sad.
This is very lively.
You're lucky they didn't do the 6-hour version. You get to the river's edge. Now, he's there. The people gather around. Everybody go ahead and make me, again, we're going to be looking at people noticing things. So let's do an observation roll on this one.
Okay. Observation and empathy.
Do I get to make one, or is this a
Not
me one?
No, you can do a -2 on the die because there's a lot of people. It's hard for you to get through
okay?
the sight of it. Well, okay, Steiner has a success.
I have
And-
2.
Two
Okay.
successes.
I have 2 successes.
I
Okay.
have none.
And that makes sense. So what? Those of you with successes, Adelaide, you even recognize the man Marcus that was speaking to Steiner that he seemed to give a cold shoulder to and just kind of thank and walk away that you met a few hours ago is also in the crowd. Like he's here as well. Okay. It's just a face that you recognize. And he has this look about him. Like he's just, maybe he needs to be here. Maybe he needs to witness something positive because of all of the terrible things that have happened in his life. Maybe he just has that look of somebody seeking a belief system. This guy had been abusive to his wife. So you're coming into the story a little bit later, but this man had been abusive to his wife. She was having an alleged affair. Steiner was doing some research on the situation of the drowned cows and things that have been this mystery that had been going on in town. Hung out in their barn for a little bit, got pinned in there by his wife and her alleged lover. It appears that it was legitimately an affair. And they were thinking of murdering him and then blaming it on the circus people. Steiner overheard it all, confronted them, went to the sheriff and got them, let them know what was happening. And so Steiner, how would you say it? Kind of his deed saved this bad guy's life because, as Steiner pointed out, it was the right thing to do. But I don't like you. Like you still hit women. You're still not a good guy.
Right.
I don't think he's safe here.
Okay.
I'm gonna get moving towards him.
All right.
Try to snake my way through the crowd.
Okay. Crowd
Yeah.
keeps back gathering closer to the river.
Yeah,
He's kind of moving closer.
I don't want to pull him back a little bit and go, listen, maybe I was too cold. And I'm going to say, I know everyone's here, but maybe today shouldn't be the day, and maybe you should, I don't know, keep your distance.
Why?
Well, first of all, this is for our people. And again,
Our people?
the carnival people.
The
I'm gonna
town folk are
point out.
here. You invite half the town's here.
I'm gonna back away. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm gonna stay close to him. I got a bad feeling. Something's gonna happen.
All right.
All right. So I'm gonna stay close. I'm gonna keep him really close to me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. So I would think that a life-changing event such as this, the timing of it when you're superstitious, people that. So my life was saved by a guardian angel kind of thing. I was a bad person, but yet I was spared. And there's a baptism in the river. All these things would lead someone, at least to be curious, to maybe walk down towards the water. So him being here, in his mind, the way I foresee that character, this makes sense to him that it was synchronicity, right? It was that moment. And maybe he's trying to turn a page. Maybe he's trying to get better. But you have this suspicion that something may go wrong. That may or may not be true. We're going to find out as we go. So yes, everyone's brought down. Adelaide, you're invited up to the front. And he turns and he's like, brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today to welcome this young woman into the folds of our church. But more importantly, because they are transient people, performers of the most exquisite carnival performances and styles, and goes on for another word. He's like, it becomes important that not only is she brought into the fold of our particular village's church, but the church in general, the Anglican church. These fine people gave me the opportunity and honored me with the chance to perform a baptism for this poor young woman who up to this point has not been able to find the light of Jesus Christ. I do, since there are so many of us here, I do extend to anyone who wishes to reaffirm their baptism a chance to come to this water's edge and also proclaim their faith. And I will, of course, be willing to do the rituals for, the words for them as well. So please, brothers and sisters, anyone, if you have not been or will wish to reconfirm your baptism, make your way now, please, down to the water's edge, and we will begin shortly. He starts to walk towards the water.
I'm going to be right behind him.
Okay. Are you giving the heads up to any of your compatriots that this might?
Yeah.
How do we want to do that? Follow this prick.
Yeah. Hey, let's not forget, folks. He's related to this family that they thought that Alice Burns, that they murdered Alice Burns or something, or they were liable in her death.
The Marsh family.
The Marsh family.
He is descended from the Marshes. You are correct. 100%.
I can't hear you.
You're correct. 100%.
I know. Yeah.
So Cyrus is saying, hey, Briggs is walking to the water.
Yep.
A light bulb goes off in her beautiful little brain, and she goes, I probably should have mentioned this sooner, but the baptism seemed to take priority. This morning, he was kneeling at Alice's grave and saying things like, I love you, my darling. He will hang. There will be a reckoning. Something, something, something. This could be bad.
Also, Mercy, I don't know if you were there. I think you were. Go ahead and make a roll for me on your learning roll.
Oh. You mean my 8 dice? Woo!
Yes, Mercy.
And let's not forget that all these past disasters that happen around this river often happen around this Marsh family as well.
Correct.
Sweet Mama Jamma, that's a 4.
Mercy, either they told you or you were there that at some point when they were talking to Nettie Briggs, she mentioned that the old ways was still run through her family.
I was there.
She knew the ways of the old folks and believed very deeply in the river.
Okay. Not that we like this man, but if we don't want him to die in front of all his other villagers, maybe don't let him go in the pond, river.
Okay.
The water.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm gonna punch him. You know what?
During a
I'm just-
baptism, Steiner?
It's like a whole different side of Chris here.
Yeah.
I cold cock him.
I'm gonna cold cock him, and it's just I love her, and it is what I'm gonna scream.
Oh my lord.
All right.
In the name of romance.
In the name of the bodice ripper shirt that I'm wearing.
She is just a child, sir.
I'm
Not
gonna
a
gasp
tripper.
and then giggle in my hands.
Right. Robin just is like, whoop him, monsieur. Whoop him. Yeah. All right. So you turn and you scream, I love her. The town you're talking about his wife, Nettie.
Of course.
Is that what you're? Yeah. Of course.
That was the cover story.
Yeah. That was the cover story. That is fascinating. Okay. So go ahead and make your attack. This is always going to be close combat. Is physique.
So 6 for me.
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh
Yeah,
no.
it shouldn't be too hard. 1.
Fisticuffs.
You hit him. He's like, you son of a bitch. What the? Now, he's a farmer. He's a wife beater. So he's a professional hitter.
He's
that
hardy.
this is somebody who's hit many times, unfortunately.
Sure.
And he grew up in a community of, Yorkshiremen who like to, measure each other's Johnsons by throwing each other down hills and shit. And kind of.
Right.
So
Right.
I think we're kind of
he's-
labeling here, aren't we?
Well, I
Ah,
don't know.
yes, a good old-fashioned Yorkshire hill chucking.
It's not much. It's just slightly less famous than the Welsh shinning. It's a real thing. They shin in Wales. I don't want to talk about it anymore. All right, so you hit him. He kind of stumbles back, and he's like, "What the?" And here comes the Donnybrook. He just doesn't get it. He's like, "You saved me. You punch me. You yell about my wife." Yeah. So,
Where's the sheriff? Can I see the sheriff?
yeah, coming through the crowd like, "What the hell?" But it's gonna,
All right.
there's 300 people here. Yeah.
Yep.
he's-
Yep.
So yes, you also got hit for a one point of stress. No big deal.
Yep.
But it's on the ground. Anybody doing anything else? Cyrus, you doing anything to try to jump in here? Or are you?
Now Cyrus kicks his hat back when he has a big, wide grin on his face.
This is
As
right.
This is very entertaining. I had no idea that there would be a show. He has no
A
intention
show?
of stopping this whatsoever.
A show. This is a baptism. Mercy's kind of like stop it, like not hitting them.
Dear
with her
girl, had you
stick,
grown
but,
up in the
like,
South, you would see that this is a Southern baptism.
I mean, they're just getting the
Is that
sin
wrong?
out, right?
Right.
Is that wrong?
No,
South of the
this is-
Mason-Dixon, this is the baptism.
He's trying to
Gentlemen,
make sure that he
please.
indeed wants to be baptized. He is giving him a thrashing.
have some decorum. That's not what this is about.
Mercy.
Maybe you should just leave.
So townsfolk are now getting involved. They're trying to pull each other apart.
Mhm.
Adelaide, you're kind of left at the water's edge as the minister goes running up.
Mm-hmm.
He's reaching under his vestments, and he pulls out a coil of rope,
Oh,
and he's running towards the struggle on the ground. Just everyone punching and hitting it, like pulling each other away. It's become. I mean, there's probably about a dozen people now involved, right? And in
Right.
these kind of situations, it's not that everyone's mad at each other. It's they just don't. What the hell? Like, how is this going on? Circus people are very quick to defend their own. So you got a bunch of carnies kicking on Briggs.
okay.
You got a
Where's-
clown with big shoes. He's just fucking slapping him with shoes.
Yeah.
Can we all see him
It
running
honks
with
each
the
time he
rope?
kicks him.
Well, the rope, Adelaide sees him because he kind of reaches under and he has a good heft of like 25, 30 feet of rope.
Hmm.
And he goes running towards him and he's like, murderer, killer,
What?
damnation, you will suffer damnation. And he's running up And the sheriff sees it and he's like, what in God's name? Ladies that aren't involved. Adelaide, you'd may see it. Mercy, you -1. Everybody else, and Yesenia, please make observation rolls.
Nope, no successes.
Okay.
1 success.
Mercy -2. 'Cause
Oh,
it's-
-2.
Yeah, it's a physical thing.
No.
Okay.
2.
Crap.
All right. So
I'm just trying to get away from the Donnybrook slowly.
Right. Yeah, you kind of people. Your 14-year-old girl is blind. Somebody realizes it and helps move you out of the way. The river is boiling, like you're seeing
no.
bubbles pop in the river.
Yeah, I think Adelaide is distracted by the fight that's breaking out,
The
and
fight
she doesn't
that's breaking
notice
out.
the bubbling right behind her. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't warn you. Like this new group of friends that you're trying to make never told
Yeah.
you that it was going to be. I love her. And a
Yeah,
punch.
she's like, oh my goodness, the trauma.
We never discussed this part. I don't get it. We love who? Love who?
Yeah,
I don't understand. I thought we had a plan.
yeah.
Sheriff grabs Steiner and pulls him off and says, "Sir, what is wrong? Why would you do such a thing? I mean, I don't." And everyone's now it's he said versus he said. Who threw the first punch? Who did this? Who did that? There's a distraction, but Pastor Wright is not stopping. He comes walking all the way up and he looks the sheriff right in the face and he says, "This man must die, Sheriff. He must be taken to this tree right here, brought out as far as we can and drop him. The drop, the stop, the sudden stop, the neck pop. It all must happen here, Sheriff. It must happen here." And
Cyrus hears that and hears the word thing, and his face completely changes, and he runs headlong after him, screaming, "There shall be no lynching! This shall not happen!"
okay, so all this is going on, but Adelaide is still standing, sort of halfway up in the water, and it's Yesenia. You can see it, and Adelaide finally realizes it. It went from her ankles, and it's now up past her knees. The river is rising.
So I'm going to run towards Adelaide.
Okay.
And I want to yell to Bit and Mavis to sing.
Okay.
And I'm going to grab right? That's what I'm picturing in my head. Like some Little Mermaid crap going on here.
Yeah.
It's one part Phantom of the Opera, one part Ursula. It's great.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. One part of it. Sing. Everybody's just So they're like, they start doing the song. They start breaking out in the song of the river, right? Of Kiva, the old river goddess that the Celts worshipped, and that is part of this land for, before the Christianity came to these shores, before any of this stuff. It starts to happen. It begins to rain as the song starts to chant. Everyone's starting to get wet. The river now, Adelaide. It's now almost up to your waist. Do you stay in the water or are you trying to get out?
Oh no, she's trying to get out. She's running towards
No
whoever
problem.
is Yesenia coming towards me, or am I just coming out? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. She
Okay.
says something is wrong.
Yeah, so they do start to sing, and the water keeps rising. It's actually it's rising and expanding. It's making its way up, and it's about, I'm going to say, 4 or 5 feet from where Steinar and Briggs have been struggling, and they've now been pulled apart. And Briggs, of course, is screaming he threw the first punch. He's saying he's in love with Nettie. I can't imagine how. Look at the whore my wife was, and 2 men behind my back. He's going off about it. Everyone, the sheriff's like, just calm down. And he looks at you, Steiner. He's like, I don't understand. Why did this need to happen?
Said because I love her and I watched him beat her. That's why. And I'm just going to be indignant about it, but I have my eye on the water as well.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
the
Give me a
river
give me a manipulation roll, please, Chris.
Yeah, okay. My 2 dice. Here we go. I'm a great
Rock on.
liar.
Rock on.
Woo! Nothing. I'm good.
Fabulous. Okay.
Yeah.
The sheriff's just looking at you like kind of cross-eyed.
Uh-huh.
But the water now is up around like your feet. It's now touching your shoes. And everyone else is like, some people are backing away. Some people really haven't noticed it. Cyrus, you now arrive, and the minister is still screaming, and the sheriff's like, Pastor, please, just give me a moment. Now, remember, we're talking about the 1865. there is a different level of respect for the clergy, right? Today we respect clergy. Like even me, and I'm not a practicing Catholic by any stretch of imagination, but when a nun walks by, I lower my eyes. Like you nod and then you kind of go, oh, I'm sorry, sister. I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm sorry. And it's, I can't imagine as a nun, like how hard it is to talk to people because they're never looking at you. Like, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. But
They live off fear.
And rulers, right? I mean, you need a good hard ruler.
Yep.
But back then in 1865, even if a minister or a pastor was acting odd, I would think it would be very slow for a constable to go, I'm going to beat your ass, vicar, if you don't back up. Like that's not something. They're very trusted members of the community.
Right.
So him standing there with a rope and saying he's got to swing is really throwing the sheriff for a loop. He's like, I have no idea what we're talking. Like, why? And then he starts screaming because he killed her. He killed her. Now the water is up to his shins. Like the water is up to Briggs's shin. Steiner, are you trying to back away? I mean, the crowd.
No. I'm gonna grab him and I want to throw him, but I want to throw him away from the river. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it continue to seem like it's a fight.
It's still
like
just
I'm
it's all
fighting him.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No one deserves to die. I'm just doing the right thing. So
maybe this guy does, but that's okay.
That's a line I don't know if I want to cross.
Okay.
So
Yesenia hasn't said a word.
Cindy's about to let the puppets out. Who are you kidding? She's gonna be like, "Go get him!"
Two successes on that.
You throw him to the ground again, away from the water.
Yeah.
A lot of people are starting to notice the water's rising. Like, where's it all coming from? It literally looks like a slow dam release. All right. Whoever wants to, if somebody has an idea for a character, they want to do something, but the confusion is so bad. The minister is, the sheriff is trying to calm Briggs down, and he's like, just hold him. And two people grab them. They grab you. They pull each other apart. He goes, get him away, get him apart. The minister, Pastor Wright has literally done, and Cyrus is probably the one who's seen this the most. He's done a perfect 13 looper right around that old, and he's like holding a gallows knot. He's like, he's got to hang. And he comes walking right past the sheriff, and the sheriff like, Pastor, what are you doing? And he's trying to get the rope over his neck, and everyone's grabbing the pastor now. Nothing is going according to plan. Like, this has all gone way wackadoo. But in the meantime, the baptism isn't taking place. So how do you want to, can you think of something maybe to put that back right, or do something else that may appease Kiva?
I run and grab the pastor, and I try to refocus him, and I say, the time for that is not now. You are to give a baptism to this child who has given her trust to you. Will you so easily walk away from your mission, sir? Hand me the rope, and I will be its protector until you have returned, and we may sort this mess out. A child awaits.
Simon Marsh is responsible for my Alice's death. Do you not understand that?
Grabs him by both shoulders, and he goes, go to the girl. Finish what you have started.
Keeper, what's the aura?
Man of the cloth.
Keeper, what's the aura around the pastor right now?
Dark. Hey, just churning.
Is he possessed?
You don't think so. But he doesn't seem like he's in his right time. He called him Simon Marsh. Now he is descended from the Marshes, but he is not Simon Marsh. And he said his lovely Alice. So again, maybe you can get him diverted by using names he's recognizing and get him all, because right now he's being drawn to this event as an executioner that it never occurred the way it was supposed to. Things went off.
Oh, idea. This could go poorly.
Go ahead.
Am I out of the water or am I in the water?
No, you're out of the water.
Okay. Wait, who was in love with Alice?
No one. Supposedly she was very young.
Okay, her dad.
Mm-hmm.
They gave a lot of money to the church. What was her dad's name?
Alice's father?
Yeah. Do we
Um,
have the name?
Yeah, we got it somewhere.
He was the one who wrote the poem.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Simon and Colby Marsh hung in the river. There's the nursery rhyme.
Correct.
What was Alice's last name? Burns?
Burns.
Mr. Burns! Look! Alice is near the river. There she is! And I point to Adelaide.
And he's like, Alice?
You must go to her, sir.
She is well. She is by the river. She is looking to, she wishes to embrace her father. What was she drowned? She didn't drown in the river.
She waits her baptism.
Yes,
Alice awaits her baptism. Go to her.
And Adelaide raises her arms to play along.
Thank you. You're doing great.
See her call to you.
He's like, he drops the rope and makes his way out towards deeper into the water. The water comes up almost to his chest, but actually, Adelaide, you had stepped out of the water mostly, right? You were kind of away from it, so
yeah.
He would head to you.
Yeah.
And he reaches out to like just touch your shoulders. Is that okay? Would you allow him to? Okay.
Yeah, she's trying to stay still and be as strong as she can as a stranger who just tried to kill a man touches her.
Right.
But yeah.
So yeah, well, you know what? That's a good point. Let's hold on.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot going on right here.
Yeah, that's a vigilance.
I heard
roll.
the subtext there.
Okay,
She
okay.
loses her cookies.
Yeah, let's
I'll do vigilance.
yeah.
A little weird.
Okay, that is one success.
All right, so you're able to keep yourself calm isn't the word, still is probably the word. Like
Okay.
it would be like, if you were Frodo in the web and She-Ra is just tapping your face. And I wouldn't be still at that point.
No.
I would be dead. I would have died already. So that's just excellent. I would have just had a heart attack. But you're able to stay calm enough to stay still. That one success keeps you still.
Okay.
He's like, Alice, sweet Alice, I understand. I know what we must do now. I never want to leave you again. I never want to lose you again. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
He takes your hand. Then come with me. And he starts pulling you towards the water.
Yeah, you said he was not going to let that happen.
No, I think Adelaide starts resisting at that point.
Hail to the yeah. All right.
My mic was muted. I fucked up.
You didn't fuck up. There's something going on here that the river wants someone. And he's like, I'll go in. So in his head, he just wants to be with Alice or punish the murderer, right? Make sure he's properly punished. He thinks that's Simon Marsh and that somehow Simon Marsh was going to get off. But Kiva is boiling like, yeah, this is. There's been a wrong done on my shore and I want it fixed, whether through the baptism, whatever it is. But he's pulling on Adelaide to bring her to the water's edge. So Adelaide, let's use a close combat. Let's use a force.
Oh,
force rolls, please. Yep.
Okay.
And we're gonna go even up. You tell me how many you successes, how many I got. I have only 2.
I have none.
Okay, so 2 is a decent amount then. Before anybody really can get through the crowd and start getting close to you, he's got you up to your knees.
Okay.
In the water. And you're absolutely shocked by the grip that he has on your arm. All right.
Oh.
The people that have not been involved in an altercation, that would be Mercy, who, again, blind but can move. Mercy's a knowledge character, really. It would be Yesenia and Cyrus. You're the only 2 that potentially can get to her. Because right now, Steinar is still very much involved with being held back by the town folk, screaming back and forth with Briggs and this whole bit. So there's a lot of things going on around the sheriff. So Cyrus, you can make an action right now. Yesenia, you can make an action. What do you guys want to do?
Well,
So
go ahead.
I'm going to run towards Adelaide.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to call out to Ethan Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Amelia and your child await for you. You cannot throw your life away.
Okay. All right. Manipulation.
Yeah.
I'm liking that. That might work.
3, 5, 8. Okay.
Come on, woman.
I got to get more dice.
8 dice. It's got to be something.
Yeah, you can roll 4 and 4.
All right. That is 2 successes.
On the total 8 or on the first 4?
On the total 8.
2 successes.
Yeah.
So now he stops. He pauses for a moment. The water. Where are you standing when you do this?
So
Are
I
you
was
on the edge, in the water a bit, close to him,
so
trying to
I was running towards Adelaide.
who's being pulled into the
so-
water.
Right. So I'm imagining that Adelaide is probably between the two of us.
Okay,
because
so
I
you're
wanted-
closer to the shore.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Make please an agility roll.
Ooh, that's going to be hard. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, that's a 1, a 2, and a 3. No 6s.
As you hit Cyrus again, you're the only one now who sees this. Adelaide's being pulled in. She's trying to fight. She's planting her feet. Mercy's got all these shadows around her. Steinar is locked. He's already done what he could to delay the other side of it, right? He got Briggs out of harm's way.
Right.
So now the rest of the team that's not involved would be you or Yesenia. But this is what you see. Cyrus. Yesenia goes running and says, Ethan, Wright, you and your child, you have to stop this. You can't throw your life away. You see her plant her feet in the water, but only up to about her ankles. And yet you see something, a shape in the water, grab her and pull her legs out from under her. And she goes sliding down onto her back and is dragged towards the water. She's being pulled in.
Jesus Christ. All right. I run to grab Yesenia.
Okay. You grab her hands.
And I pull her out of the water.
You can't. She feels like she's on Yesenia. You feel like you're on a rack. Her back has bent as your strength, Cyrus, as you're holding on, and whatever seems to yanking on her, she goes taunt and then starts to bend. Something is wrong. The song is being sung. The song is still being sung. They are in full chorus. The 12 or 14 people of town that still know these verses. You have to figure out a way to appease Kiva, but Kiva's awoken. It's now here. Something's got to give.
He's got to finish the baptism, folks.
How do we do that?
Hasn't done the baptism.
Yeah,
it's a great question. I don't know.
So I can't affect her, correct?
You can. You let her go. She may go. She's gonna get pulled under.
Oh no!
What if
I yell out. I hold her, but I yell out. You must finish the baptism, sir. You must baptize her. Do not pull her deeper to the water. Baptize her in Christ's own waters.
Yeah, what if I tell him I can't go. I can't go without being, baptized. Please don't let me go without my soul being cleaned.
Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah,
I'm so confused.
What a little
Why?
manipulator.
No, I don't. Right now, I don't trust any of this. I want the ladies to stop chanting and singing, and I want my friends out of the water.
No,
Water
I don't-
bad.
I am asking him to put me under the water.
Yeah, no, I don't like this.
Do it, Daddy.
Can we
drown me.
pivot? Can we pivot?
No.
Like,
No, we're locked in. We're locked in. Let's do this.
All right.
She's a bad girl, and she needs to be punished.
Give me. Go ahead and make a manipulation roll there, Adelaide.
I am bothered.
That will be.
Bothered.
Oh no, that's no successes at all. Oh
Okay.
no.
Push
All
it.
right.
Push it. Push it.
Push it.
Push
Okay,
it.
I'll
How do
push
we-
it.
How do we
Yeah.
push it?
I was
How do
going to
I
say, is there a
Is there a
Not in
function?
cl-
Is there a feature for
I was going
that?
to say, I don't
No.
think there's
I don't think there is.
That's Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Oh, pickles.
Sorry. Yeah, that's just called a loss. A miss.
Yeah.
Is it Pastor? You must save her soul.
Yeah, that's not going to work. You can get Briggs in. You can let Adelaide go under. or you can let go of Yesenia. Somebody's going under the water. But you get this real sense that Kiva's looking for affirmation. You've summoned her now. She's here.
Right. And she wants vengeance.
Well, she's an old god, right? She's an old river spirit. She gives and she takes away. She does, she fertilizes the land, but she kills cow. Like shit's been happening.
Do I realize that she needs someone?
I think everyone's sensing that there's something like that.
And
I
yell out for Steiner. Steiner, let the man go. Push him to the water.
No, because the crowd has him.
Oh, Jesus.
Everybody in the water. No.
I mean,
it's a pool party.
Adelaide doesn't have as much context as the others, and as far as she knows, she's about to drown. Does she have her knife on her?
Oh, sure.
Knives? Can she take it out and try to stab the guy in the arm to let go of her?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Do it, lady.
She grabs one of her little knives she swallows, and stabs him and tries to stab him in the arm.
Close combat is a physique roll, please. Physique and close combat together.
Okay. It's not very much.
You don't need much. You need one.
Okay, I got one success.
Ah!
You pull the knife, you stab him in the arm, and he lets go for a second. The instant he lets go, Yesenia gets pulled back. Like Cyrus goes falling backwards. Yesenia stops screaming from the pain. She gets pulled like into the water, but she's crawling her way out. She's got mud all over her clothes. He takes a step out into the. He's like, "What? Why would you do such a thing?" The water comes over the top of him, and he's gone. He's gone. Like the water goes perfectly flat. People start screaming from the shore. Pastor, Amelia screams out, "Ethan!" Everyone,
you were singing for the damn thing.
Lauren, people have misguided things all the time. You were singing for the. You sang it. Now you shut up.
You sang the song.
The song has been sung. Now shut up.
Make up your mind, you pagan lady.
What is that from? The
A
song was
pastor's
sung.
wife.
What a perfect pilgrim.
What was that from, though? The song has been sung. There's an expression from a very famous fantasy series, right? The song was sung. It's too late.
I don't know.
To hell with it. If you know, put it in the comments. We'll read them later. Once you finally see this. Yes. So Ethan is gone. There's nobody, and like,
Oh no.
the crowd is in shock. Nobody's really running to the water because of all the shit that's been going on by the water. Like they're all seeing all this boiling and now, but the river, it almost instantly goes to its normal babbling, just sounds and everything, and he's just not there. His body never surfaces. The sheriff kind of is in awe. He's just stunned, and what just happened? What in God's name just happened?
Adelaide kind of stumbles back away from the water line with a bloody knife.
Yeah, that you may want to hide.
Yeah, she tries to keep it back in her pocket, but she's pretty shaken.
Is she putting it in her pocket, or does she turn away for a minute and take it a different way? Because if you get searched, it's in your pocket. But if you do your thing, they'll never find it.
Oh,
But if
you're
you
right.
put it in your pocket.
Oh, you're right. I'll just
Your other pocket.
yeah, she'll back up, and as long as everybody's looking at the water,
Yeah.
she can turn and swallow the knife.
So she's like, oh God, hurts.
Yeah.
The four of you get this image of an elongated drop on her jaw as the knife gets kicked back, and it's gone. Like she just took away the evidence, which could be real helpful in the future.
That's what I thought. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That's chilling.
Yeah.
So she steps back out, and some people are like, I know, I thought she had a knife. I don't have a knife. I'm good. I don't have a knife. So yes, you are after the sheriff gets people dispersed. Like people at the far edge of the crowd kind of make their way out before the sheriff can even say, just go home. People are really shaken. Amelia is just hysterically crying. She's lost her Ethan. All this stuff has been just a tumultuous situation that's occurred. And the sheriff finally, after hours. It's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Lanterns have been brought. Some locals picked up lanterns and brought them in for you guys. He's just questioned people. He finally looks at you, Cyrus and Steinar, and says, I just think you should go. I don't know what happened here, but I think you should take your people and just go.
Will be. I'm going to straighten myself up, kind of kick the mud off and put my hat back on. And I'm just turning around and walking. So
okay. The rest of the team's just kind of following along, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Cyrus just kind of gives him a dirty, long look as he walks away.
Why were you giving Steinar a look?
Not Steinar.
The
the
sheriff.
policeman, the sheriff.
Oh, the sheriff.
As in, like, it's always the outsiders. The outsiders always have to go.
Well, you're trying. Yes.
No, but I mean, this is something he's dealt with pretty much his whole life.
Absolutely.
So he's just like, it's kind of like a, what do you call it, a touch point.
Yeah. No. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you go back and miraculously, 85% of the circus has already been dismantled, and Max seems to be walking around and like points his head, and everyone's like runs over. They start taking. So the people that were left have been working for hours, trying to just like Max knew that tonight was going to be the night you leave, like that it was time to go.
Right.
He sees the five of you walking up, and starts walking towards his own cart and stands there waiting for Cyrus and Steinar to put the yoke over him and get everything ready. The situation is that you've solved the problem of Kiva. Like, Kiva has had a sacrifice. She's going to be good for a long time again. The baptism may have worked. There was a couple things that were going on in the background that you just never had a chance to find. Right? You had gotten out of this one style and you were looking this one place. So the mystery, there was different layers to the mystery that you didn't find out. But in the end, you were able to work through it, which was good. You solved it. I mean, Max is ready to leave. Max normally won't leave if there's still a problem or there's a Vason that's angered in the area. Max won't do that, but he's ready to go. And where he wants to go is something we're going to find out next time we play. So great job, guys. It was, we got there in a weird way, but we got there. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, it was a little touch and go there at the minute. It was, you had the situation with Alice that had happened, and he'd been at that grave for a while. It's been going on for some time. He was having these delusions of her. He wanted to figure out how to get Marsh anyway. He was actually involved in the affair. The minister had told Nettie that she should find love and happiness. So he was trying to get Marsh in more and more trouble. Like, Briggs rather. He was literally trying to get this guy to the point where they were going to either he was going to kill Nettie or do something so bad that they were going to hang him. Like, he wanted this guy dead. So he's been building it up. This thing that's been going on in his mind, this delusion. And but you stumbled in on that kind of late. But that's good. Yeah, like I said, you got to most of the pieces. That was pretty cool, and you did a nice job. So that's the end of chapter 1 of Kleiner's Kravenarium. This one was a little bit longer than I had hoped, but the next one's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely a different type of story. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Brenna, welcome to your first 2 shows. Great. I know you came in a weird spot. Yeah, you came in a weird spot.
Oh, Adelaide, this has been a very great introduction to her new family.
Yeah, no. I'm sure she feels right at home.
Hey, before we close out,
yeah,
Cyrus walks up very quietly to Max, and brushes his mane and leans into his ear and says, "The circus needs a new leader, Max. Would you allow me to lead it for you?"
He nods. And in his eye, for a moment, Cyrus, it doesn't look like, it's almost like there's a reflection there, and you look over your shoulder and there's nobody there, but you could have sworn that you saw somebody in the reflection of the horse's big, watery eye.
What do they look like?
Well, Mercy's standing behind you. And she's, she kind of feels that energy of you looking around. And she's like, Mercy's like, oh, I guess Kleiner agreed, huh? And she kind of laughs and makes her way back to her wagon. And you're like, Kleiner agreed.
Maybe. Like, he just is not sure.
Right.
And he pats the side of the horse's neck and he goes, I guess I should round the troops so we can go. Okay.
Definitely. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for us for tonight. Thank you so much. Like I said, I will be updating this. This we record 2 in a shot. So this will look very different next time. But I want to thank everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, smash the button. And we will see you in a week for the next chapter. And I think the next one, I have about 12 of these already written up. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I think we're going to do, let's see, which one should we do? I think we'll do The Box of Dreams. So the next chapter we called A Box of Dreams. And I can't wait to present it to you and to our players. But from all of us here at the Bardic College, I want to say thank you so much for watching. And we will see you in a week. Good night, everybody. Good night, players.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Good night, Kia.